You're being sent down to a generation that's trying to change the definition of marriage. You're being sent down to a generation that blasphemes Jesus, blasphemes God. They have no respect for the kingdom. You're being sent down to a generation that is growing hostile towards Christianity, intolerant with believers. You can call the names of other religious progenitors, talk about Jesus, everybody has a problem. Can't mention him on the job, can't say nothing about him in the locker room. You are being sent out into a world that is dying, a world that is dark, a world that needs to see true sons and daughters arise.
If I knew that Christ was coming tomorrow, do you know what I'd do? I'd do just what I'm doing today. We ought to live every day just as though the Lord's coming. You ought to have your bags packed and ready. You ought to not have your roots too deep. You ought to not have too big a bank account to worry about. That's the reason the Bible says we're to give to the poor, and we're to give to the church, and we're to give to Christian work. We're to be stewards. Be packed and ready. Ready to go. Working. Winning others to Christ. Witnessing for Christ. Doing all we can to help our neighbor. And above all, loving.
Christ will send you out into a world that is spiritually dark. A world right now that's being led astray by strong delusions and lies of the devil. Drag queens are preaching the doctrines of demons every Sunday morning, calling evil good and good evil. No respect for the unborn, trying to change the definition of marriage. Blasphemes Jesus. They have no respect for the kingdom. You're being sent down to a generation that is growing hostile towards Christianity. Come to the most important charge of Jesus' followers, Matthew 28:19. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations. This is the great commission of Christ given to the 11 that goes beyond them to you and I, has fallen on your lap. He did not say go into all the world and preach, go into all the world and sing, go into all the world and have services. Our mission is not to have services. He says go, that is don't wait. Be proactive in going and making disciples. You and I will give an account for this great commission. Then he tells Isaiah, go and preach this truth to the people. Even though they won't receive it, go preach anyway. And Isaiah asked God a question. How long should I preach to people that won't listen? Preach until the nations have laid waste, the cities have laid waste. Watch. Preach, man of God. Read it for yourself until judgment comes. Keep preaching truth even if they don't listen. This is my calling. That's why it's tattooed on my arm. Keep preaching truth even if they don't listen until judgment overtakes them. And then in the back half of Isaiah chapter 6, he says, but that's okay, because I will preserve for myself a remnant. That there will be a people in the earth who hear my truth and respond to my truth.
Now the Bible calls the preaching of the gospel foolishness to those that perish. It's foolish. You say, how can you be talking about something that happened 2,000 years ago that could affect me today in my life? That's what the devil is going to say to you. That's what he wants you to believe. He's got a veil over your mind. And your mind cannot see spiritual things or understand spiritual things until the Spirit of God comes and opens it. In Ephesians 4:18 it says, having our understanding darkened. You see, your mind has been affected by sin. You cannot trust your mind. You cannot trust your conscience. Your conscience has been like a compass that's broken. Your conscience is dead, or it's been hardened toward God. You can't trust your mind. You can't trust your conscience. What do you trust? You trust Christ by faith. Then he resensitizes the conscience and he comes and opens your understanding so that you understand.